What's up, everybody? Welcome back to another movie review. Today we are continuing our Star Wars movie rewatch, and we are up to Star Wars A New Hope, the one that started it all, right? And half of this score that I'm about to give it is because without this movie, I wouldn't have all of the other Star Wars movies and Star Wars shows and everything that I love about Star Wars, right? Like, this was where it started. And he didn't have that big a budget, and he did the best he could, trying to literally make Outer Space a movie in 1977, and it originally was just called Star Wars, you know, and people absolutely lost their minds in 77. I wish I was alive to experience it in theaters, because when you go back and watch this original trilogy, once you get to, like, Empire Strikes Back, and, like, Leia kisses Luke, but then you find out that they're brother and sister by Return of the Jedi, right? And growing up, you watch Revenge of the Sith, like me, you know, because I'm a different generation. The prequels are the Star Wars I grew up watching in theaters, you know what I mean? So watching Revenge of the Sith and knowing that not only is Anakin Luke's father, Luke and Leia are brother and sister, right? So for people that were watching the movies in 77 and 80, it was mind-blowing when Luke, I am your father. Search your feelings. You know this to be true. No, it's impossible. You know, like, people were like, this is where, like, the original spoiler came out, because people were waiting in line outside of the theater, and people walk out talking about it. I can't believe Darth Vader's Luke's father. And people were like, they just ruined this for me. You know, people were so mad. You know, it's funny, even on LETTERBOXD, when you write a review, if your review contains, like, if you're talking about spoilers, you have to click a thing in the bottom right, and it's Darth Vader's helmet, right? So it's like almost like a nod to that. The original spoiler is from 1980's Empire Strikes Back, but today we're talking about A New Hope. And A New Hope is a great movie. It establishes, you know, Luke, it establishes Tatooine, it establishes Jedi, it establishes Darth Vader as a villain. I'll give him credit. I don't necessarily love the costume as much. The red eyes don't really do it to me as much. The chess piece didn't look as good as it needed to, but James Earl Jones, the voice, in this one little scene where he's, your lack of faith I find disturbing, right? Like, there's certain scenes that you're still, like, he's super menacing, but he's also, like, just moving slow, and I don't know, for a guy that now we know as pretty much three-quarter robot, he should be able to move, you know, a little bit more. And there's one part in Empire Strikes Back where he jumps, and, like, you kind of see him float with the Force, and he lands, and he kind of lands soft, and they don't, like, make a noise. But if you're made out of, and you're heavy, and your legs are metal, I think one or both arms are metal, you know, he should land, and it should have gone boom, you know, and you should have heard the metal on metal, you know, and it should have made this big boom. You know, I thought that was a missed opportunity in that movie when I was watching it last night. But you know, there's certain parts in this movie, like, you know, him talking to Leia, you're like, oh my god, that's your dad, and you don't even know it, right? Like, so once you know all of the Star Wars movies, it's so good. But I could only imagine seeing this for the first time. You're like, Darth, stay away from that pretty Carrie Fisher. Don't you dare go near her. And you know, even just like her hairstyles, Princess Leia always looks so fucking great. You know, but he's a menacing man, Mr. Darth Vader. But I think by Empire Strikes Back, he looks much better. Everything starts to look dialed up. Even the original poster, just like, I love how this looks. Alec Guinness, you know, I grew up loving Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan Kenobi, but Alec Guinness is where it all started. Hello there, you know, like, don't be afraid, come here, little droid. You know, like, this movie's got a little bit too much C-3PO and R2, even though I do love R2, C-3PO is an annoying motherfucker. But by the time they get to the cantina, and I don't know if you see my shirt. This is from Nerd Riot Shop. The shout out to the new Rockstars guys over there. This is Kashyyyk Warriors. They got, like, baseball t-shirts, but look at that Chewbacca. Look at that little Wookiee on my chest. I love the Star Wars shirts. I'm in a full Star Wars kick right now. Rewatching Rebels. I'm going to rewatch all the shows. And I love it because we have, what, 7 more weeks or 8 more weeks of Ahsoka. So week by week, while I'm waiting for that, in between, I'm going to be watching Rebels, I'm going to be watching Obi-Wan, I'm going to be watching, you know, different movies. I'll watch Solo again, Rogue One. I love them. I love the Star Wars universe. It's so fun. Like, it's just, I'm a sci-fi guy, but I love just the whole universe. I loved how expanded. I love bounty hunters. Like, oh, God. I said this to my buddy the other day. I don't know why this isn't a thing. We need a video game. It's called Star Wars Bounty Hunters. And you can play as, it's like open world or whatever, and the only thing you can really do is be, you know, a bounty hunter, be a Mandalorian or whatever you want. You can be Din Djarin, Boba Fett, you could be whatever you want. Bosk, you know, you can create your own, you know, you could be whatever species you want. Be a Wookiee, you know, like, just give us customization of our character that we want. And then just, like, you go out and collect bounties. Kind of like episode 1 of Mandalorian. You show up, you have this puck, you go find this guy. And you just go out and you, almost like Assassin's Creed, but like bounty hunting, you know, like, fucking steal that idea, don't cut me in on it, do whatever you want. I just want to play that game. Like, doesn't that sound fucking awesome? You know, like, just going around to different planets, you know, buy a ship, you know, the more bounties you collect, the more you can do, the more you can go. You unlock different planets, you get higher up. All of a sudden, you know, depending on when it's set, Darth Vader goes, I need you to find this man, Han Solo, you know, and you're like, oh, fuck, I gotta hunt down Han, like, you know, and then you hunt his ass down, you fucking carbon freeze him, you give him to Darth Vader, Chewie freeze him, so, you know, whatever. But, hey, I got my money, you know? But, you know, things like that I think would be a great idea. But Star Wars A New Hope, 4 out of 5 stars. Just got to tip the cap to the props to George Lucas and just where it all began. But I do believe that battle with Obi-Wan and Darth Vader is pretty much just like, it's there's no real like swordsmanship in it. It's just very, I'm gonna hit yours, you hit mine, you know, like, it feels very like these guys were Jedis, like, the fuck, you know. But I give them credit, by the second movie and by that third act battle with Luke and Darth Vader, it steps it up a notch. So comment below, what are your thoughts on Star Wars A New Hope? Were you somebody that was able to see it in '77 way back when? But comment below your thoughts. I gotta go let the dog out, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Comment below, what's your favorite Star Wars movie? Bodhi, calm down. Jesus, so rude, interrupted me. Comment below your favorite Star Wars movie, your favorite Star Wars show, and are you liking Ahsoka? I would love to hear from you guys, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace.